for YouTube and stuff. There we go. Now we can say welcome in, everybody, into the Eternal Conflict. It is the last weekend of playoffs. We are here in our first of 3 best-of-5s, and we are going to be figuring out who is heading into the lower bracket final tomorrow morning. That's effectively what we're going to be determining through these 3 best-of-5s. If you'd like to take a look at the bracket, !bracket for more information. But we have a little Twitch prediction going on for all of you as to which team is going to win map number 1, Towers of Doom. Let me turn on my audio. This was some audio stuff during the movie night last night. So let's talk about how we got into Towers of Doom, and then we'll talk about the tournament shenanigans, or lack thereof. The coin flip was won by DeepDiveXtreme. They opted in for first pick priority, banning away Battlefield of Eternity. Alterac Pass was banned away by Exodia Light, who of course have map pick, and they'll be choosing to take us to Towers of Doom. Now, this is a standard Heroes of the Storm tournament. There is no tournament shenanigans in the sense of banned heroes carrying over, meta madness, pre-banned heroes, tournament baseline bans. No restrictions, effectively. The only restrictions are, of course, onto maps, as you have bans, and there are bans at the top of the screen, but none of that really carries over or anything like that. We are just going to be able to see what will be removed for Towers of Doom, map number 1, and an immediate first pick into Rhaegar for DeepDiveXtreme, as Lucio and Ana target banned on the right side, and a Genji Blaze. Now, you may also notice that Cure is playing for Exodia Light. He is substituting in. He did not play in this tournament at all. I believe the last time I talked to him, he kind of wanted to take a little bit of a break and just kind of chill. And I don't even think he was doing any, like, commentary or anything for this tournament either. So he's just, he was hanging out. I think he was getting ready for some Storm League or something, and they were like, yoink, we need you, Cure. So we've got a Junkrat Yrel. Yrel is a common pickup for Cure. Blaze was banned away, and Yrel does have some really good lane control, wave clear, rotations. I still, to this day, I'm waiting for Saint Dev to change Hand of Freedom to not be applicable to Yrel, and to nerf the hell out of Seraphim. Seraphim should not be effectively an 8-second cooldown. It should be somewhere in the ballpark of 20. Because it's a 10-second, but then it's a 2-second activation, and the cooldown starts immediately. So it's 8 seconds cooldown. It's so dumb, dude. At level 20, you can push a button every 8 seconds to make yourself unstoppable. I hate it. We do have a Rhaegar Diva Hanzo. I'm not saying it's Cho'Gall, but, you know, the pieces of the puzzle are there for me. Chromie will be banned away. That is correct. It feels like we skipped spring today. It's 32 Celsius. Oh, 32 Celsius is pretty warm. What's up, Vareel? Good to see you as well. The section of the planet, that section of the planet is the same year-round, more or less, hence the rainforest. Interesting. Okay, thank you, Mudir. My Africa geography is horrible, so thank you for helping. Seraphim is perfectly balanced skill. Yeah, that's why you put it in caps lock. Yep. Malfurion will be banned away. Chromie removed as well. And we're going to get into the latter half of this draft. Main tanks needed on both sides. I do like the idea of a Garrosh I really like the idea of the Garrosh into the Diva specifically, and that's what I was going to kind of get at. Rhaegar wants to lunge in as well with a bite here and there. So Garrosh being able to punish that is strong. Now, what do they want to consider into the Garrosh? Something to maybe force him to use Indomitable a lot? You could consider a Deathwing, but there's a lot of, like... There's a lot of CC that doesn't affect Deathwing, but I just don't think Deathwing's the call. I like the Falstad. You get range poke, range sustain. It's a lot of range damage, and Johanna having to step up, and Rhaegar. I feel like Rhaegar's gonna have a rough game. I think the Garrosh was such a beautiful pickup here. I saw the Anduin, and part of me was like, maybe we're gonna see a Stitches possibly, but no. Because the Junkrat Anduin plus a Stitches is a really good combination. But the Garrosh, as I call it, is really nice to control the Diva. And a Sergeant Hammer at the end. I really think that Exodia Light has a stellar draft. I think there might have been a small blunder in the draft for DeepDiveXtreme. They've got this front line that needs to step up, and healer that wants to melee and lunge, but then you have double range assassins. Maybe it's an auto attack Falstad. Probably an auto attack Falstad, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh no, not the Bubble Hearth incident. Not the Bubble Hearth incident. No. Poor Kier will never live that down. That and the old CCL Gust. Oh, man. Kaibo Tripson, I read a Chuck Tingle book yesterday. He's the greatest author that has ever lived. I can't believe he read one of the books. If you don't know who Chuck Tingle is, Google him. It's a like ridiculous author. So balanced, Valve hasn't stolen the idea yet. Valve would never steal ideas from Blizzard. They would never make a MOBA based off of characters from a game that existed already. Valve would never do that. They're an original company who only has original ideas. Exodia Light on the left-hand side of our map number 1, first best of 5 of the day. Yasu, Anduin, Bloodcool on your Junkrat, Cure, Yorel, Hazuab's Hammer, and Masquerade, Garrosh. Right side of the map is going to be DeepDiveXtreme. You've got your Skizakid Johanna, Virgil Devil, Darnus on the Rhaegar, Yoshiro Hanzo, and a Dead Inside Falstad as we take a look at level 1. Zealous Galare, target practice. Q build for Falstad with Gathering Storm, Colossal Totem, and pro moves. Even-handed Blessing, extra wound timers. Warbreaker for Garrosh, Dauntless Yrel, and it is going to be Advanced Artillery for the Sergeant Hammers. Yrel has an Avenging Wrath charged up, jumps over the wall, Righteous Hammer, Hanzo the target, thrown by Masquerade, a big condemn from Johanna to disrupt all of this as a huge concussion mine will come through, pings onto Darnus, who was caught by a steel trap, and First Blood goes over to the left-hand side of Exodia Light into the Rhaegar. Odds on the gamble, thank you everybody. Immediate invade onto the camp as the camp timers have been decreased? Yeah, decreased to 30 seconds at the start. A toss groundbreaker combination. A concussion mine zones and Johanna goes down to hammer Hazuabs, laying waste as Garrosh throws one sapper in. And a little bit of a... It was like, wait, I'm already here. Do I need to charge still? It was a little hung up. But we have a very early pressure coming out from Exodia Light into the enemy squad of DeepDiveXtreme. A 2-0 lead in kills. Sappers on the right and left have been grabbed, so it's a little more experience from just camp grabs as Masquerade auto-cancels into the minion wave. Alright, so Junkrat heads back into bottom lane, a few grenades to be thrown in, a toss groundbreaker, Iron Skin from Johanna, one sapper charges in, a scatter comes through, a Divine Star. Second of 3 sappers go through, and it looks like one of those 3 did get cleared away by the enemy. A few tower shots coming out. Hanzo with a Stormbow here and there, another Divine Star to be thrown back, healing up Masquerade, little healing overtime from him from the globe. And we'll get into our first objective phase. Top left and right is standardized. Where the RNG lies is going to be whether it's bottom or center locations, and it will be the bottom location. We're going to scatter into the corridor in a Stormbow to get another stack for Yoshiro. We're going to check that Hanzo stackage for you really quickly. Still needs to hit Anduin once to get the 30% range increase, and has hit Garrosh all 3 times, so that's where the first full stack is coming out from. D.Va is working on a camp in the top lane. A few more grenades will fly into Fort Tower. D.Va finishing out camp up here. Yrel is doing double soak duties. Level 4's looking pretty standard across the board. Nuclear option probably the biggest thing to mention, but otherwise it's what you'd expect. The experience from camps and kills, it is a slight scaling advantage on the left side. 6 to just about level 6. Yasu getting the channel. That's going to be an interrupt attempted from Yoshiro. Looks like Falstad gets right side. Junkrat heading to left. Falstad maneuvering his way down to bottom. Does he have a flight to interrupt? The Sonic Arrow from Hanzo does interrupt. Falstad flying into Yasu. Immediate chastise thrown out into Groundbreaker. Garrosh trying to punish. Unable to set up a kill for the allies. D.Va did get her mech back. She looks like she's delaying out Junkrat. Yrel's trying to help out. Meanwhile, in bottom, Sergeant Hammer still applying a ton of damage. Dead Inside is going to be forced to back away. The chastise coming out from Anduin. I Thought they might have that channel. Unfortunately not. Junkrat does get the top left with the help of Urel's zoning. And Masquerade may get delayed one more time from a Sonic Arrow, but that's going to be that as we see some hearts coming out. Azu floating forward. Yoshiro trying to get that stackage finished out, but man, that's... I think they were fine. They had mobility. They had a sidewall to use natural agility, but it was still one of those moments where it's like, against Masquerade, you really never know with how he maneuvers. Concussion Mine on the point. Blast back the enemy. You're out with the Avenging Wrath over the wall into the immediate Divine Steed mount. And Cure getting hit a little bit. Concussion Mine went out, got activated, but no displacement. Uh-oh, though. Johanna will fall to Junkrat. As a third kill will be picked up by Exodia Light. One Sapper, I believe, remains. A few more cannonballs make their way in, or grenades from Junkrat. Darnas on a really awkward spot. Chastise goes out, finds them. And a launch at the end. A groundbreaker into Concussion Mine. Yoshiro tries to use natural agility over their allied well, but it does not work out, and that is going to be a double kill in the bottom lane, and the fort going over to the left-hand side as our next objective phase will be announced in just a moment with our 10 talent tier coming through soon. And that laugh means we're 5 minutes in with the boss spawning. Sapper's on the left side to be grabbed by Junkrat as there's going to be the announcement of that objective. Oopsies. Whoa! Hello, mouse. That was a weird one. Skizzy in top lane. Trying to put some pressure on Durell with some allies around. Righteous Hammer. Vindication. Zoning Concussion Mine. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Sergeant Hammer is pushing waves up against Falstead and zoning him back with Sappers coming through. Anduin will get left side, I do believe. Garrosh is zoning. Anduin's actually going to cancel to try and step up for a quick flash shield. Divine Suit, that's a good chat. Oh, no, that's Light Bomb onto Rhaegar. D.Va trying to back away. The Chastise misses, but Junkrat confirms mech and pilot. Here going in a little deep, and the allies are rolling in. Blunt Force Gun from Hammer just to the edge of the enemy. That'll be Hanzo taken down as well. Dardas trying to back off. Hammer has a few more shots in, but it won't be enough. Oh, that would have been a great moment for a Blunt Force Gun, but it looks like... I believe the Sappers made it in through bottom from Hazu. Yeah, that math makes sense. So 3 Sappers made it in, plus these 5, 10... This is 13 damage into the core of DeepDiveXtreme. I doubt they go boss to make it 17, but nicely done. Yeah, 32 down to 29, 29 down to 24, 24 down to 19. Yep, that makes sense. My gosh, 36 to 19. A 6-kill difference as Junkrat starts working on a north side Sapper camp. D.Va boosting, finds Urel, but also a Garrosh, a Steel Trap, a Chastise. Righteous Hammer. Light Bomb is timed out absolutely beautifully. The Dragon's Arrow fired from nearly bottom lane is not going to connect. It does scout out the enemy, and I believe the boss is assumed to be taken here. So in the end, it technically is going to be 17 damage into the core of DeepDiveXtreme, as our next objective phase will be in the bottom, or excuse me, the center of the map. Consolation note, I guess you could say. This fort did get picked back up to the side of Exodia Light, but it's a rough map number 1 for DeepDiveXtreme. We didn't even talk about heroics. I got so hung up in these engagements, but it is Blunt Force Gun, Light Bomb, Riptire, Warlord Challenge, and Ardent Defender. Righteous Hammer missing right there. Avenging Rat to back away. Less Shield, Ancestral, Dragon's Arrow, Gust, and Bunny Hop as you're seeing right now. Trying to take a team fight without the level 13 on the enemy side. The Chastise goes out. D.Va mech activated. Riptire onto D.Va pilot, almost chunked her, but she only got chunked, or excuse me, it almost took her down, but only chunked her in the end. Good bless shield, but huge Ardent Defender activation from Cure as now Masquerade angles to step up, but a shield glare dismounts him, and all he can do is zone with his presence as 10 seconds to go on our first, or singular objective. Golly, a little tongue-tied this morning, huh? A little more tea today.
Be swift, heroes. Do not let the Gravekeeper's cronies reach.
Got some mango black tea. And Hanzo's done with his level 1 target practice. Garrosh also finishes out his Groundbreaker. Another Dragon's Arrow missing. The Warlord's Challenge activated. The Light Bomb zones D.Va back. Avenging Wrath from Yrel, but the Righteous Hammer's not enough to take down Darnus, who gets the self-cast Ancestral in time. D.Va will lose her mech. Avenging Wrath over the wall. The Leap of Faith saves Garrosh. He had 4 HP. But a quick heal will help out. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Masquerade living right there, and now he's going to run right at Falstad. Throws the Jahan as she gets activation of Iron Skin. A shield go thrown back into the enemy. A Blessed Shield as well. Blunt Force Gun, 38 seconds. Riptire up in 2. Do we have an immediate channel of Riptire? Gust from Falstad, but it only pushes Garrosh to the side. Blood considering... No, he's just going to zone with a few frag launcher grenades and 4 more shots rain into the enemy core. 36-11, and this map number 1 is very good to the side of Exodia Light. Yrel finds the D.Va in the rotation. Bunny Hop will be activated. Garrosh is going to get stunned once, and Dominant will be used afterwards. Stormbow goes out with the explosive arrow to clear out the wave and poke into the enemies as well. At least to follow up with an auto attack or 2. Avenging Wrath from Yrel, Righteous Hammer into toss, Warlord's Challenge, Light Bomb, Riptire, and that's going to be Jahanna taken down. Darnus will fall as well. Ardent Restoration activated. Toss from Garrosh into Junkrat to throw him in. D.Va Mecha Explosion goes out. Rhaegar, Jahanna the 2 to fall. Huge hammering damage from Falstad, currently at 61 on his stackage, but unable to take anyone down. Hanzo Stormbow with that explosive arrow, as I mentioned. Good wave clear. Flank from Yrel. Gust from Falstad pushes them into Yashiro, who gets the natural agility. And Junkrat with a standard grenade takes down that Hanzo. Cure, Avenging Wrath over the wall into Divine Steed, and is able to back off just fine. Double objective phase coming up. 11 HP remains on the core of DeepDiveXtreme. A minute 30 on boss. If both objectives are grabbed by the members of Exodia Light, then they will have the enemy on 1 HP. But at least a kill on Yrel does get picked up by Falstad in mid. Kier forgot he didn't have Bubble Hearth yet. Junkrat's in the bush to delay things out. Steel Trap finds the enemy. Spread Volley level 16. Keep in mind, the members of DeepDiveXtreme, they're delaying or fighting over this objective. Without 16, a Dragon's Arrow fired from nearly the Hall of Storms does come through. The Blunt Force Gun takes down Jahan on the left side. I don't know if Hazu angled that intentionally, but man, that was beautifully done. Let's say it was. Jahanna taken down, Junkrat dead for 36, Yrel up in 4. Can they delay out Falstad? Not with those little spider mines. 3 shots go into left side core, and Yasu cannot get the south side channel in time. Yrel's on her way back, but I think this is objective phase given. And the members of DeepDiveXtreme sustain the map at 11 HP. Gus from Falstad pushes back Hammer and Anduin. Garrosh still didn't take a level 16, by the way. Neither did Yrel. Hammering thrown back from Falstad. Half a level to go for 16 on the right side. It is going to be that Templar's Verdict, Spread Volley, Glyph of Faith, Executioner. We have the defensive measures, maybe Mortal Combo with that. That's usually what I see. But once again, it's Masquerade. You really never know what he's going to do. And that laugh signifies boss is back up. The tunnels are open and the towers are upgrading.
I have opened a tunnel near our core.
So we are post 12 minutes in-game time. Yrel with the Avenging Wrath into the camp. No. It was charged up, but she gets pushed to the side by D.Va. Steel Trap thrown out by Junkrat. Shattering Teeth, Sticky Wicked, and gotta trap them all level 13. It is the Mortal Kombat, by the way, for Garrosh at level 16. Radiating Faith, you've got your Earthgrasp Totem, Piercing Arrow, Flow Rider with Ares Gust as well, and D.Va will go into the Albedative Armor. No, it's emergency shielding. Dragon's Arrow misses, Leap of Faith, I believe, mitigating that. 1, 2 Sappers making the bottom lane keep as a Groundbreaker finds its way into Jahanna, but she will activate Iron Skin and back away just safely. Triple Altar Phase coming up, and this could be a GG moment for the side of Exodia Light. A couple win conditions set up, we'll talk about those. as Masquerade is zoned by the slowing totem of Rhaegar, and I don't think they're... Oh, wait, hold on. Avenging Wrath over the wall from Yrel, Righteous Hammer into Johanna, Warlord Challenge, toss, Chattering Teeth, the Ancestral Healing comes out a little late, but I mean, Darnus did the best they could. That's a really good kill onto Johanna just as the objective phase starts out. All 3 objectives is GG, 2 objectives plus boss is GG, so there's opportunities. Yrel's gonna go delay out D.Va. Yes, she will be able to get that in time. Center location gets picked up by Anduin, Garrosh Hammer. Yrel, I believe, is gonna harass on the right side. As Garrosh is rotating in, Indomitable gonna be activated. Toss, Groundbreaker. There's going to be a mecha explosion with the nuclear option. Junkrat does get the channel left side, and 3 HP remains on the core of DeepDiveXtreme for map number 1 in this best of 5 series. Avenging Wrath in from Cure once again. Darnus going for the channel. The Gust from Falsa to push back the enemy. And do they fight over the boss, or do they just let it sit? DeepDiveXtreme may try and take boss off the map just so the enemy team doesn't have that win condition. Enemy team is showing in bottom lane. Maybe gonna try and convert the bell tower. Oh, wait, no. Maybe they're gonna have that rotation being like, wait a second, the enemy's probably a boss. And the rotation will come out a little late if they are intending to do so. Oh, LaFasia, thank you for the kindness. I appreciate that, bud. Congratulations on the 10-watch streak. I think that's the first 10-watch streak that I've had. Appreciate it, bud. Tried to get some good sleep last night to have the energy for our 3 best of 5s. Camp on the right side will not be stolen away. D.Va boosts in, Bunny Hop activated. Next objective phase, looks like it's singular in the bottom of the map. There might be a center location. Groundbreaker comes out. That's going to be a mecha explosion. Garrosh with the Warlord's down. They're going to try and take down D.Va. The Chastise comes through. There will be a Blunt Force gun. Skizakid's so very low. The Ancestral does come through in time. The Riptire explodes but takes no one down, and so many health bars on the right side are low. No one to be felled. And it is singular in the bottom of the map for our next objective. We'll see if this is going to be a GG moment. Sappers are being pushed up into bottom. Dead inside. Not sure if they have a well tap. Hammering goes out. Looks like Sappers are cleared. Falstad barrel rolls in. Hazu getting chunked. Yrel jumps over the wall with a Righteous Hammer to push back Rhaegar. Will lunge in. I mean, realistically, Exodia Light, they've got a lot of HP to burn if this fight doesn't go their way, so it's not the end of the world if they do lose, but the biggest thing is DeepDiveXtreme. They, of course, want to find some kills and start rallying in this map number 1. Cure getting chunked, taken down by Hanzo. Nicely done. D.Va boosts in with a bunny hop, and that emergency shielding does come through. Uh-oh, Darnus is going to get thrown. There's a gust after the Dragon's Arrow. Falstad goes for the channel, I believe. No, he's going to cycle back and look for a few more hammerings into the enemy. Sergeant Hammer Hazuab's Hearthing out, and it looks like Rhaegar does get the channel. Map number 1 continues. His bottom lane Heat is going to be taken down by DeepDiveXtreme. If they reverse it with 3 HP, that's, oh man. Quintessential Towers of Doom, man. Epic mount for Falstad, huh? 25-second cooldown effectively for his flight and a faster activation timing. Radiating Faith, Farseer's Blessing, Bullseye, and Pop and Lock for D.Va. Condemn from Johanna does not pull in Masquerade as he had his Indomitable activated. Level 20 though here for Exodia Light. Anduin just now respawning. Seraphim, the Busted Talon. You've got your Titanic Might, extra oomph, ultra capacitors, and Anduin is what? Inner Fire? Inner Fire, actually. Yrel jumps in, gust up against the wall. D.Va with Bunny Hop. Looks like the Riptire got cleared away and no explosion. Leap of Faith saves Cure. D.Va mech lost, but it's Masquerade to fall. The Ancestor Healing comes through. Concussion Mind pushes Yashiro into the hammer. The Leap of Faith pulls them kind of back into the fight. A hammering coming out. What is going on in this map number 1? Is Chizukid... Why did Hanzo... What? One Sapper makes it over the wall. I think the other 2 will be cleared away by Junkrat. Johanna steps up into the death zone with a little bit of damage. Concussion Mine does not maneuver her out of position. Falstad pushing top lane onto the keep. Diva holding mid. Johanna was holding bottom. Bro, what is this map 1?
The altars have risen.
Diva's flanking. Diva literally boosted into flank. The barrage is beginning. 14. They need 3. Oh my god, dude. Did they just win this? They did. Holy shit, they just won this. Holy shit. Are you serious? That's it. Oh my god. What's up, Yoi? How you doing today, bud? I was trying to figure out if the first letter is an I or an L, so I was like, you know what? We're gonna go with Yoi. That's easier. I can't believe that, dude. I cannot believe that map number 1. I am reeling from that map number 1. Welcome in, everybody. Map number 2 in our first best of 5 of the day. On the left-hand side, it's going to be Exodia Light down in this best of 5 series. On the right side, with an absolutely amazing turnaround on map number 1, DeepDiveXtreme. And as Umber, was it Umber who said it? No, someone else had said it. Moodier, the level 20s were really good for DeepDiveXtreme. I absolutely agree. I'm a little surprised they went into Epic Mount, but at the same time, because like Wind Tunnel is such a winning tool, but I get why they went Epic Mount, absolutely, because they wanted to have that extra macro factor, and it really worked out a ton for them. So let's go ahead and get on into map number 2, Sky Temple. This is going to be the map choice coming out from, if I'm not mistaken, DeepDiveXtreme. No. Map pick is actually coming out from Exodia Light. They opted in for map pick priority, so DeepDiveXtreme will get first pick, first ban. That would make sense as the Lucio was the only thing banned away. But regardless, we got a Lucio Blaze ban. Things are looking similar for map number 1. Will this be another Ana targeted ban, or will we see something different? First pick over to the side of DeepDiveXtreme. Did they have first pick in map 1? Yes, they did, because Towers of Doom was Exodia Light's map pick. That's right. Alright, so it is going to be similar start to the bans. I don't remember what this was. It was a Blaze, Lucio, Ana. It wasn't Junkrat. Chromie came out later, if I remember correct. Or was this the Chromie? I'm not 100% sure. But either way. Sky Temple, though, a very macro-intense map. This is a very good map for Abathur. I would not be opposed to seeing an Abathur. Vikings play really well here. Oh yeah, it was the Genji. That's right. It was a Genji. Okay.
I will fight to my last
Deja vu.
breath.
I have been here before. First pick Rhaegar on the right side. As last time it was the Junkrat Yrel. I'm expecting Vikings Yoi, but I'm not sure. Yo, what's up, Yanthor? Good morning to you, the wife, husband, cats. Whoever's typing. I never know. It could be the cats. Their diction's got a lot better. Double global out the gate with a Brightwing Falstad. I would not be surprised if we do see a Dahaka potentially for DeepDiveXtreme. Another consideration could be into Abathur as well. Once again, I just really think Abathur is so good on this map. There's a lot of dive under... You know what, though? Probably not Abathur, because we had the tower changes, and ever since the tower changes, I feel like Abathur is easier to dive. There are some people in the camp that, you know, the fort shielding will make it harder to dive Abathur, but I really do feel like it's easier to dive under towers and onto Abathur as well. So probably not gonna see the Lord of Evolution. We're all good. Glad to hear. Thanks for coming on by, and hopefully you have a nice cozy Saturday and Sunday, because we do have games tomorrow as well. Junkrat to be removed. Okay. Junkrat was picked up on the left side by Exodia Light, but it looks like they don't want to give it to the enemy. They don't plan to take it on their side for their draft. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say probably a main tank ban. Get rid of the Muradin. Rhaegar, D.Va, Johanna. The Garrosh was really punitive last game, but I don't think Masquerade got very good late game value. Not against him, just I think that's just how the game scaled. I think, like, Masquerade has a really good Anubarak. He may consider that. His Diablo's not bad, which is pretty decent for this, but D.Va Pop and Lock, Rhaegar Cleanse. They're gonna hold their main tank. They want to see what the rest of the draft of the enemy looks like. They're gonna pick up another Urel with the Hanzo. Pretty decent draft. I don't think they're gonna go into like a Bruiser for a main tank. It could be a Varian. Varian actually wouldn't be too bad here. Charge, Taunt, Polymorph, big damage from Falstad Hanzo. Urel with Righteous Hammer to push back enemies, potentially. Could be a Stitches game.
Victory. Linnaeus will rise again.
I like the Varian still. Diablo could be a really good use. Garrosh is not too bad to punish the Greymane and Sylvanas maybe, but they have a lot of decent mobility as well. I like the idea of, I think, Diablo or a Nubarak the most for the main tank. And maybe a Varying. Shattered Throat wouldn't be too bad. Tyrael coming through. Tyrael has seen a lot more play. I don't think he's bad by any means. Holy Ground is a good way to control boss. Sanctification. This actually could be a Judgment. No, I feel like this is a Sanctification game. I think you want to be able to have that extra safety for the allies. But either way, the Twitch gamble's going. We already have some gambles on Exodia Lite. Let's see if we can get some odds as we get into map number 2. All right. Far above Haunted Mines, just ever so slightly above Tomb of the Spider Queen, we'll be loading into Sky Temple. Ashmantle said it perfectly like a month or so ago when we were talking about the lore of this map. Because in the Vikings trailer, the Vikings fall off this map into Haunted Mines. But Tomb of the Spider Queen is below Sky Temple. And then Ashmantle was like, but what if Tomb is literally below is on the floating isle? And I'm like, holy shit, you blew my mind, actually. You legit blew my mind. Because, I mean, the theming is all there. Also, you know, the whole Harrison Jones thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you in a second once we load on in. I'm still, to this day, I wish we could have gotten whatever they were trying to build up with the Alexstrasza portal thing. By the way, if you ever play Sky Temple, left-click the lid of this well, if you will, and if you left-clicked it enough times, you have the Easter egg. But Easter eggs aside, we've got Sky Temple map number 2 in this Best of 5 series. Exodia Light on the left-hand side, with the map pick priority, angling to make this a 1-1 score in the series. We got a Yasuo Brightwing, Cure, Urel, Blood on the Hanzo, Masquerade, Tyrael, and Hazuob's Falstad. Right side of the map is going to be DeepDiveXtreme, looking to continue their lead with potentially 2-0 through Sky Temple. Skizikid is your Johanna. Yashiro is playing that Greymane, Virgil, D.Va, Darnas, Rhaegar, and over in the bottom lane, we got a dead inside Sylvanas. But let's go ahead and take a look at the center vision, or the top vision, talk about some level 1s. So it does not look like we have a main skirmish to unfold. Frequent Flyer Falstad. Still Geometry for your Hanzo, Art Restoration of Material, Dauntless Urel, and Hypershift Brightwing, as we have Might of the Banshee Queen for Sylvanas, as she's in bottom lane. We do have Viciousness Greymane, Pro Moves D.Va, Feral Heart Rhaegar, and Zealous Glare Johanna. Yo, Freaky, you're just in time for map number 2. Welcome on in, bud. Happy Saturday. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Thanks for lurking, chatting, and all that good stuff. And don't forget to spoil Bandit Chat. That's the important part. So Sky Temple has the first 2 objective phase scripted, one of the rare occurrences in Heroes of the Storm. So the first objective will be top and center, the second objective phase being bottom location, and then we get into the RNG. Now, the big factor for the first objective phasing is often to grab this... to grab this Bruiser Camp, push heavily into the enemy fort gate, and try and weaken that, then get objective and take down the remainder of the gate and the tower or the fort, sorry, with the temple shots. Rhaegar goes down. First blood over the left-hand side. Similar beginning to Towers of Doom with an early kill picked up by Exodia Light. But Virgil Diva last game was really good. Mech and Pilot got taken down a few times, but I do feel like the late game was really strong for Virgil on that Diva as well. Greymane and friends are going to try and clear things out with this camp pushed on their fort gate. Yrel comes through with an Avenging Wrath, Righteous Hammer. Rhaegar gets taken down. A second kill, and I believe the second kill into Rhaegar as well. Man, the healer getting bullied. Gate of the fort in top lane took a little bit of damage, but I don't think it was enough to confirm entire fort gate plus the main structure during objective. Some more siege will be needed to be achieved as we're about 45 seconds away from our first objective announcement. Or from contestable, sorry. Announcement's up in like 8. Hazu gets your bottom left camp. We'll see Tyrael rotating down for probably a quick globe off the wave. Yep, Hazu was trying to hold it for a quick second. There's another globe for Tyrael. Nice rotation for Masquerade on that as Yasuo soaks up top lane. 13 stacks on your Hanzo, 6 for the Falstad, 9 on the Tyrael. Nice. And no sub done, of course, for Johanna just yet, but we'll see maybe in an upcoming team fight if she can pick that off or finish that talent. Inner Beast from Greymane was active. It is going to expire in just a second as he had no auto attack targets. Greymane Dark Flights into Masquerade. Tower shots from mid already beginning onto the side of DeepDiveXtreme. And Yasuo the Brightwing forced off from Darnas Greymane. Or sorry, Rhaegar. Different dog. Taimo comes through with a quarter milli. Masquerade goes down. Does Masquerade get trait value? 16, 14. I think, yeah, you got 2 seconds off there. Or maybe one extra. Temple shots from mid, fire into mid fort gate. We've got temple shots in top lane held by Cure with a charged up Righteous Hammer. Diva will get on the point, which will neutralize. And since there's no Cure anymore, and the minion wave pushed up onto the gate, there's going to be tower shots onto said gate and minion wave. DeepDiveXtreme, not looking too bad at the start of map number 2. Good morning, Kaimo. Good to see you, bud. I will miss you at D&D, but have a great anniversary adventure. Try not to get stabbed by your wife. Keyword try. Avenging Wrath in from Yrel. Yoshiro dives the side, taps the well. Diva with some decent sustained damage onto Cure. The Purge was used onto Cure, but he'll be able to Hand of Freedom because it's a balanced talent and back away. Templar, no, not Templar's Verdict, it's the Righteous Momentum. Another mobility tool for Yrel. Who would have thought? Oh, man. Good morning, Ninja. Good to see you as well, bud. Happy Saturday. All right, let's get a cycle of the different numbers. We are about to hit 5 minutes in-game time, so we'll see the boss spawning out from Tomb of the Spider Queen just below. There it is. Falstad looks to push up a wave in top lane onto the fort against Diva with the help of Brightwing, but Diva's already here. She'll get a little bit of that fort defense activation. Polymorph hammering. Virgil boost to the side, boost back in. Another fort activation. Defense matrix comes out as well. Greymane still working on camp. Rhaegar joining in to help out with a little chain heal. Johanna, I apologize, goes down in the bottom lane. I did not expect her to die down there. But it is going to be a third kill over to the left-hand side of Exodia Light. It is Judgment, Tyrael, Ardent Defender, Gust, Blink Heal, and I assume Dragon Strike? It is indeed Dragon Strike. Sorry, Dragon's Arrow. Dragon Strike is the thing that doesn't stun, which is weird.
Soon they shall bask in my glory.
Dude, a Rascal mount for Deckard Cain would have been so amazing. Sorry. I saw LaFacia's message. Dude, if we had a Rascal mount, a Rascal's like those like old people scooters, for those that don't know. Sorry. Well, it's going to be Mind Control, Curse Bullet, Bunny Hop for Diva, Ancestor Healing, and your Blessed Shield, as we do have your second objective phase channeled by Hanzo at the start. Bottom shots going to bottom lane, Fort Gate. Yrel pushing up onto that immediately. Siege Giants amplifying as well. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Black Earth from Sylvanas Possession as well onto the minion wave to try and push up onto the fort. The inspired ranged minions. You also see, that's the important thing to mention too, what Dead Inside did. Went for the ranged minions. For those that don't know, ranged minions deal way more damage into structures than melee minions. They actually deal triple the baseline damage. So if a melee minion does 20 base damage, it does 40 into structures, and a ranged minion does 60. It's very, very, like, it's a very minute thing, but it's very important to mention. As Diva uses mech, oh my god, I thought she had the mech recall in time. No. She uses mech explosion. Taken down before she can get back inside. And now the fight continues in mid lane. Tyrael Diva traded 4 for 4. Siege Giants pushing in the bottom lane up against the Keep Gate. Yrel a little bit low. Has Ardent Defender, holds it, gets a blink kill from Brightwing as the Black Earth from Sylvanas still has 50% duration. Hanzo gets pulled back by a Condemn. A good gust into the wall. Darnas is going to get chunked. Falstead barrel rolls in, and that's a self-cast Ancestral. Meanwhile, the Judgment from Tyrael comes through, and the Falstead and Sylvanas will be traded. Yrel goes in with another Avenging Wrath. Yoshiro on the Greyman is trying to back away. Righteous Hammer to the face, and a Scatter to take down the Worgen. And Blood, I was going to say, it's probably a good call for a boss right now. They started going for Siege Giants. I'm like, hell no, dude. You want to get that boss. You got the time for it. All right. I had a little sneeze. I think I got the mute. Whoa, wait a minute. They're going to get onto the point. Bunny Hop from Diva. Rhaegar's here as well. Johanna comes in. There's going to be a Dragon's Air from Hanzo. Big damage from the Hammerang as Mech goes down. Johanna to fall. Pilot should be the next thing to go down as well. And indeed, the members of Exodia Light find effectively triple kill plus boss and camp. Ooh, this is looking huge for Exodia Light. And right now, Exodia, they just need to play objective. They technically don't even need to push up in bottom lane. Inspiring mid is not a bad idea while they're waiting for the objective and the enemy team is seen clearing bottom lane. But yeah, you can already see Brightwing. Oh, that's a good mind control into Cure the Condemn. Phase shift from Brightwing from the bottom is going to come through into a blink heal onto Masquerade with a Soothing Mist afterwards. We do have an Ardent Defender. Every button of utility Yrel had was utilized. And Yasu, who is perfectly positioned for bottom lane shots, had to phase shift out. Hazuabs does have a wave pushed up into top fort and will be able to take that down. The inspired minion wave, will it be enough? Should be. Tyrael gets bottom. And here's a good example why we have this kind of lull in the game. I can actually show you guys the stats. So melee minion currently has a basic attack damage of 21 and into structure 63. So triple there. But look at this. Range minion 42 with damage in structure 128. So it is still triple, but range minions have double the damage of melee minions baseline. Sorry, I forgot my stat ever so slightly. Still though, the point remains. Range minions. Always clear the range minions or utilize the range minions over melee. $16 on the left-hand side, 9-3 in our kills. And it's a reminiscent moment of Towers of Doom, but this is Sky Temple, which is, you know, wind conditions are a lot different. Tyrael, Drune's Might to the side, the Dragon's Arrow lands, the Judgment from Tyrael into Sylvanas. She takes more, oh my, how much damage was that scatter? Jesus Christ. 298 plus 710 plus 517 from, that was an insane scatter from Blood right there. Bottom lane Keep is on a sliver of HP. Honestly, now Drune's Might over the wall with the Burning Halo level 7, which he has, is going to be enough to take that down. Did he have the range? No, he didn't have the range. Masquerade is actually... It wasn't enough. Yrel comes in. There's the Tyrael, Drune's Might. They're going to dive in for the Keep. Falstead goes in with a hammering. No gust to be utilized. It is off cooldown. Bunny hop from D.Va. Yrel jumping to the left-hand side. Masquerade. Good scatter. Once again, Mind Control finds the Tyrael. The gust pushing back the enemy. The Condemn pulls back Masquerade, but he has the Druid's Might to back away. Once again, D.Va boosting in with the Mech Explosion. Dunks it into the enemy with that. Oh my god, the nuclear option chunking Falstead by like 90%. A Blessed Shield as the re-engage. They just hit 16. That's a Cursed Bullet. Masquerade goes down. 48, 47, 46, down to 41. As boss is 1 minute 39. Hanzo getting chased. The Black Arrow will be activated. Actually, no Black Arrow from Sylvanas, it looks like, but still, the fort will fall.
Red team is crushed.
Single objective in the middle of the map will be coming up. The Black Arrow is activated for the bottom lane. Keep gate. As I mentioned, that boss, 1 minute 17. And just like that, experience-wise, experience has almost been equalized. Good call to disengage here. I was thinking they would step up further, but I'm like, those death timers are getting real short, and good call. I believe they're not going to sit around a minute for a boss, I don't think. They're going to grab Siege Giants, maybe pivot for mid-objective. But yeah, it's only a 3,000 experience difference now. A lot of experience has been made up from these later game kills. I mean, 7 to 6,000. Uh-oh, no. Goodbye, D.Va. Wait, Johanna's here. Condemn into the enemy. Boost to the side. Emergency shielding level 16 allows her... She's pilot mode, but she's dead. Now, I think this is the right call. Try and find a counter kill. Phase shift on to the Ardent Defender. Phase shifted... Or sorry, the mind-controlled Yrel as they chase in further. Cleanse onto Johanna. Polymorph into her afterwards. And she will be getting an Ancestral. Condemn, but no subdone. A shining moment for DeepDiveXtreme. Absolutely tarnished by a unfortunate D.Va Johanna death. The only thing I don't know, actually, for the minion discussion, ranged minions 770, melee minions actually have a little bit more HP, so ranged minions are actually easier to kill as well. By about 400 HP. Another boss to the enemy. Rhaegar's going to try and get some mid shots into the mid-keep gate, but yeah, this is boss going to core through bottom. And once again, with the 20 talents here, Exodia Light, they don't need to step up into bottom lane. They could step up and try and end with the 20 talents here plus boss. Angel of Justice, Wind Tunnel, Bullseye, Seraphim, Invisible Friends. Falstead working on a wave. Yrel jumps in. Righteous Hammer to push people back. Falstead flying in to join the allies. Keep him in. Keep in mind, level 20, Wind Tunnel. Dragon's Arrow lands into Johanna. There's going to be so much damage into Skizikid, who gets a Blessed Shield thrown back. Horse shielding is just about to fall, actually. I'm surprised it hasn't gone down faster. Wind Tunnel from Falstead creates the space. The D.Va Mech Explosion will be coming through, and that does zone. D.Va Pilot does get taken down. Cure with the Seraphim. Not pushed around, but chunked quite heavily from that damage. Masquerade looking to take down Sylvanas, but has the Eldruin's Might thrown to the side. Condemn pulls him back in. Azuabs with a little bit of zoning damage as well. Haunting Wave from Sylvanas. Looking to defend mid lane keep. Will of the Forsaken was activated. Still level to go for level 20. Possession from Sylvanas. Judgment from the Tyrael goes into the Rhaegar. Keep defenses are going to give 35 armor, but the keep defenses are shit. Revert the tower changes, Blizzard! Hanzo gets the snipe, and it looks like with Sylvanas the lone defender and body blocks from Tyrael, map number 2 will go over the side of Exodia Light, and it's a 1-1 score in this best of 5 series. Usually it gets cleared out before it gets big. Yeah. Oh, jeez. What a map number 2. Bye-bye, Kaimo points. Go enjoy your new home. Welcome back, everybody. We are here, ready to go into map number 3 in this best of 5 series, our first best of 5 of the day. Yeah, we got 3 best of 5s for all of you, and we're heading into Cursed Hollow. The map choice is going to be coming out from Exodia Light as DeepDiveXtreme, the losing side, has opted in for first pick priority. Excuse me, sorry. Has opted in for first pick priority. We will see an immediate Vikings ban. Nice target against Hazu. Another Blaze ban to come through. So, to mention, maps 1 and 2, map 1 was Towers of Doom, and map 2 was Sky Temple. Map 1 won by DeepDiveXtreme, map 2 won by the crew of Exodia Lights. The bans were pretty much the same in both those maps. Blaze Genji on the left, Lucio Ana on the right. And now we're getting a little bit of a change, at least from the side of DeepDiveXtreme. They'll target ban Hazu up to Vikings. They'll get rid of Yasu's Brightwing. Blaze will be target banned. Is this another Genji ban? Or will they change things up? It is going to be Blaze Genji removed. Okay, Exodia Light, they don't want to deal with Blaze Genji. I don't blame them. But 3 maps in a row, DeepDiveXtreme has had first pick, and 3 maps in a row, they first picked their Rhaegar. I don't blame them. What's up, Bathroom? How you doing, bud? $1,500 worth of cheese is a lot of cheese. I always just think about the space to display it. I don't have enough. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Thier. How you doing today, bud? Also, my buddy who I visited in Michigan, he has like a big glass cabinet that has like internal lighting, and it has like multiple shelves for his stuff, which is really nice. But I believe he rotates stuff in and out of that because he does like newer, because he goes to Adepticon every year and he makes like a new army for that every year too. So I think he cycles out that army because every time I go there every year, I feel like I always see something new or more in there. Anyways, let's talk about Heroes of Storm. We can talk about miniatures after map number 3. As a Hanzo Dahaka will be grabbed. Okay, so you get a global in Dahaka. You get the Hanzo once again because Blood had a really good Hanzo in map number 1. Rhaegar, Diva, and Junkrat will be grabbed over to the side of DeepDiveXtreme. And Zeratul gets target banned. Why Zeratul? What are they thinking? Are they going to be going for a more squishy comp? I mean, Zeratul is good in general, but Zeratul leads me to believe that there's going to be a few low health pool heroes. Big thing to mention, Chromie is up and available, by the way. Chromie is phenomenal for this map. The artillery value around objective phasings, her overall team fights, Diva, Slowing Sands is probably the better of the 2 heroics because Diva can bunny hop and self-cleanse. Junkrat could get cleansed by Rhaegar, maybe? Chromie's up, but Lucio will be the priority, and I don't blame that whatsoever. Johanna with the Lucio, Dahaka, Hanzo. I still think they can go into that Chromie, and actually, Chromie for either of these sides would be phenomenal, realistically. Diablo will be grabbed, looking for some aggressive dive into the enemy team. High 5 value from Lucio is going to make that a bit of an issue, but last pick, what do they want to go into? Is it that Chromie? Yeah.
Here we go again.
I don't blame it whatsoever. Vikings ban Abathur incoming? I don't think we're going to see much Abathur, honestly. Ever since the tower changes, I feel like Abathur is easier to get dove on. I know there's 35 armor that triggers, but I still just don't think that's enough. I don't know, man. Granted, there isn't a ton to dive onto Abathur.
Victory for the Forsaken.
I just feel like Abathur is gonna have a rough time in the current patch, just because it's easier to kill him. At least that's my gut on it, but I just feel like it's so easy to dive people under towers nowadays. But let's get into game. Also, Ninja, when do you fly out for your vacation? Is it what, like Tuesday or Wednesday of next week? Yeah, the experience changes too. Yeah, the experience changes are really punitive as well. I mean, like, it all hurts Abathur, really. He really needs to learn how to evolve, am I right? All right. Well, the Twitch Gamble's got 5 minutes. The draft is unfolded. Ash Mantle has reminded you that there's a gamble, so let's get into it. Map number 3 of this best of 5. Let's find out who's going to have the advantage through Cursed Hollow with Hazuabs playing Sylvanas, a Blood Hanzo, Cure Dahaka, Yasu Lucio, and Masquerade Johanna. Right side is going to be the side of DeepDiveXtreme. You've got your Skizikid Diablo, Virgil Diva, Darness with the Rhaegar, Yoshiro Junkrat, and you are going to be seeing your Dead Inside Chromie. Extra round timers, pro moves,
4, 3,
Time Walker's
2,
Pursuit, Colossal
1.
Totem, and Soul Shield.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Overwhelming Affliction for your Sylvanas. You also see Tissue Regeneration Dahaka, Accelerando Lucio, Zealous Glare Johanna, and Simple Geometry Hanzo. For those that have wondered, is Laws of Hope meta? We've seen like 2 Johannas so far today. No Laws of Hope. Condemn activated. Actually, has there been 3 Johannas? There has been 3 Johannas and no Laws of Hope. Even on Tomb of the Spider Queen, a double soak intensive map. Nah. Zealous Glare all day, baby. Hell, you could make Zealous Glare a baked-in talent, and then we could get some more variety for Johanna level 1, realistically. You could make it... You could make it a 10 talent tier thing, where she gets a second Shield Glare. You can make it a level 20 thing, actually. That wouldn't be too bad. Make it like Vigorous Vaulter, or you can make it like Stitches with Helping Hand or something. I don't know. But definitely don't tie it to like a stat. That's the one thing that I would always say. Like, don't tie it to a stat, because the moment you do that, you'll have people running into towers and dying early so they can, quote unquote, tank the enough damage to get the trigger. It was like Muradin's with the Stormbolt in the past, remember? You'd have Muradin's play giga aggressive early to try and finish out the piercing Stormbolt and stuff, and then it got baked in. It's like, wow, Muradin is so much better. Diva does get her back in the top lane. We do have a little quick chain heal from Rhaegar coming out. Masquerade putting some pressure, but the mid lane camp is going to push into the fort gate of Exodia Light. Hazu activates Black Arrow on that Sylvanas. Masquerade stepping up once again with a Condemn Punish. No Subdue trigger, as that was the level 4 pickup. Diablo coming with the Shadow Charge, overpowering to Sylvanas. Push off from Lucio. Fort Tower shots. Assist Sylvanas, and First Blood does get picked up by Exodia Light. Mine blasts Johanna away. A couple tower shots hit onto her as well, but Hazuabs almost takes down Darnus and Yoshiro. Both of them forced to tap well. Peeking up into the top lane. Hanzo is going to be chilling up against the Diva. And Simple Geometry currently sitting at 8 stacks. Nuclear Option for Virgil, which is pretty standard for them. They've had this Diva 3 maps in a row. We'll see. Oh! Hanzo gets a good scatter, I think, once again, and takes down the mech. I don't think we can see mech. Yeah, I think actually that was the scatter that took down the mech right there. I think. Dahaka Cure wraps around, lands a drag. Time Trap from Chromie is there. It's at Horror Anomaly, but she dead. Nice pick from Cure. Great Black Arrow activation from Sylvanas. Hazuabs. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Masquerade will be delayed by a concussion minded Junkrat. Or actually a boost in from Diva. Darnus, the Rhaegar, cancels the Hearth. Masquerade again going for the channel. Still have that concussion mind delay. He's in that radius ever so slightly. Diva boosting again. Firestomp from Diva. Soul to Flame level 4, picking up a stack or 2 maybe. Rhaegar getting pressured by the Lucio. Lucio wrapping around, back into the engagement. Another Firestomp from Diablo, interrupting the enemy. Junkrat trying to defend bottom. Chromie doing her best for mid. Masquerade forcing Diva to boost in once again. Yasu with the reverse amp, level 7 active. Diablo Firestomp interrupts Masquerade again. Diva may have a boost in for another delay as well. That is going to be a purge onto somebody I saw. Shield glares go out. Diva loses mech. Big shot rains in. And I think Masquerade may have the channel. Uh-oh, no, Junkrat's here to delay, but meanwhile, Kieran bottom lane is pushing up onto the gate. Chromie's going to rotate down there and try and delay. Or defend. Hanzo finishes out his level 1 simple geometry, gets a Sonic Arrow to interrupt your Shiro channel. Masquerade should have a shield glare. Utilizes Condemn and just steps right up. Haunting Wave from Hazuops is really good, and Yashiro does go down. Skizikid. Soul Shield activates. Push off from Lucio. Shadow Charge back in with a Fire Stomp for a delay on the objective. And Chromie in the bottom lane does push Dahaka back a little bit, but he got some great siege in this lane. Let's go ahead and cycle through the other numbers. It's 5-0 in kills. Diva Mech Explosion. Hazuops gets the Haunting Wave to safety. Diva Pilot goes down. A 6th kill to the left-hand side. As Exodia Light look to reign in siege through top lane. Chromie defends bottom and pushes things out. Kier doing a little double soak here, and that'll be 10 talents here picked up because of that. Dragon's Arrow. You've got your Isolation Wailing Arrow. High Five and Blessed Shield, as our second objective phase will be spawning in the bottom left of the map, and Hanzo gets one last Stormbow hit as they disengage. Yasu scouts out the enemy. Cure brush stalking in to join in for the flank. Is there a drag onto Diva? She boosts the side. Slowing Sands from Chromie. Cleanse comes out onto Dahaka as well. Dragon's Arrow in the corridor takes down Diva Mech. Diablo comes in with the Shadow Charge. Haunting or Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas. Cure purged by the Rhaegar. Does he have a Burrow? Does he have Essence? He doesn't have it. The camp still goes over the left-hand side. Concussion Mine blasting people. Lucio right next to Darnus, but can't get the fatal damage needed as Diablo, as Full Souls, Shadow Charging Johanna into the wall and taking her down. I assume this objective goes over to the side of DeepDiveXtreme. But is that slowing stance from Chromie in this corridor helped out a little bit in the team fight? And actually, Diablo might get delayed here. Sylvanas pushes up a quick wave in top. It is that possession level 4, by the way. Hanzo starting out Bruiser Camp with the help of Lucio. Looks like one of the units has already been taken down. Kier joins in. Lightning Breath, Riptire, Bunny Hop, Ancestral, and we already mentioned that Slowing Sands for Chromie. Neither team has picked up a boss just yet. Time Trap set all around. Fire Stomp from Diva. Sorry, Fire Stomp from Diablo. Condemn from Johanna was activated during that. Sonic Arrow will get vision of the enemy team rotating towards mid lane, and Hazu tries to trade into Sylvanas, or into Diva, but it is Sylvanas to be taken down. First hand from Lucio, Lightning Breath from Diablo. Here comes a Riptire, Slowing Sands will force Lucio and Hanzo to back away. Natural Agility here to use by your Hanzo as Virgil goes for a channel. Masquerade probably has a shield glare to interrupt. We still have Bruiser Camp pushing in through mid lane. Dragon's Arrow goes out. The Ancestral Healing will come through. Skizikid a little bit low. Fire Stomp returning. Finding a little bit of health. Good isolation. Cleanse onto Diablo. Kier tried to find a drag. It is Feeding Frenzy level 7. Kier did get taken down, so he's on 2 of his 3 stacks. Only a 1.25 second cooldown per auto attack, as that's going to be a really good drag. Wailing Arrow. Damage over time, and Sylvanas finds purchase of the kill, forcing Diablo to utilize souls, and he will be respawned. Concussion Mine delays out Masquerade once again. 4 kill difference, and just an absolute brawl back and forth in these engagements. Yasu so low. Cure lands the drag into a Blessed Shield. Cure is going to go down. Yasu gets a glow, but Diablo wants the angle for some sort of fire or overpower Shadow Charge. Lucio with a high five afterwards. Rhaegar lunges in. Diablo finds a nice Shadow Charge bop into the wall. Riptire takes down the Johanna. And our third objective will be in the top right of the map. Junkrat. Frag launcher grenades go over the wall, interrupting Yasu Hearth. And the bottom fort is going to be sieged into, but there's not a whole lot available. Dahaka brush stalking into the flank. Concussion Mine is an awkward interaction. Dragon's Arrow misses from basically top lane. Diablo activates Lightning Breath, cancels it early. And Hanzo in mid will clear things out. Diva has an Inspired Wave in top. Huge siege on the fort. This should go down to 50% easily. Boss and bottom will be grabbed by Sylvanas and Dahaka. Looks like top boss is going to be traded. But that top fort took a ton of damage. Hanzo able to come up here. Bloodcool gets a bit of that experience, and Diablo will get top right channel, top right boss picked up by the rest of the team. And bottom left boss will be traded. 2 kill difference, 13 talents here on both sides. Experience is pretty close. Cure, by the way, with 1 stack left on Feeding Frenzy, so every auto attack is 1 second off of his cooldown of drag. If he does lose that last stack, he still has cooldown reduction. One of the few gambits in Heroes of the Storm where if you lose your gambit, you still have value from it. Or gambit value. For example, you know, Johanna not Laws of Hope, or Divine Fortress. You still have your physical armor and stuff, but you lose all that health. Here you still have cooldown reduction by 0.75, and you have the drag duration increased by 0.5. Top fort did go down, bottom fort as well. Boss on Keep Gate is quite healthy up against DeepDiveXtreme. Top lane, actually about the same as well. D.Va had a nice little bit of extra siege in there. The big thing to mention, though, in the bottom center of the map is that Curse is available. 3 seconds to go on that. Do the members of DeepDiveXtreme give this and defend? I feel like with their positioning, they are. Boss is finding similar siege value. Yeah, they're just going to give that Curse. I think that's fair. D.Va and Chromio grab a camp from mid lane. Dahaka's pushing things up in top. Bottom boss has already been cleared out, and Siege Giants were helping aid in lane defense. Mid fort gate is still available, and D.Va will make some quick work of that. Masquerade steps up, shield glare into the wave to clear out the incoming wave. Dahaka's wave pushed up onto the top fort. D.Va boosting her way up over there to catch soak and such. Junkrat managing bottom. And so far, this is a very well-defended objective. Hold on. That's a Dragon's Arrow. Isolation. D.Va will lose mech. Pilot mode with the dash. Torpedo dash is not enough. Rhaegar did step up, but I don't think he was going to use his Ancestral. I think he had a cleanse available that he wanted to use, but I don't think that was an Ancestral call, just because D.Va pilot health is so minuscule. Top lane fort does go down. Mid fort may fall as well. Dahaka brush talks in. Time trap from Chromie. Riptide out from the Junkrat. Big hit from... Oh, that's a really good Lightning Breath onto Kira, but he had some healing overtime activated from his Essence. Black Arrow from Hazuabs, allowing him to join in with the allies mid, and they take down the fort. Nicely done. All outer defenses peeled away from DeepDiveXtreme. All that remains are keeps. And still mid and bottom fort remain on the side of Exodia Light. Boss and bottom 2 minute 20, boss and top 2 minute 26. We will see Siege Giants and Bruiser Camp grabbed on the left-hand side of Exodia Light. 16 talents here for both teams. As the Time Walkers Pursuit will scout out this camp, they can start playing onto the left-hand side just in case the enemy is going to be rotating in, because a lot of the red members are not showing on map until just about now, with Chromie mid, D.Va top, and Diablo and friends in bottom getting the Vision Tower. Alright, so the big thing to mention for our Hanzo is going to be your Giant Slayer. We have Will of the Forsaken, also Elongated Tongue, Holy Renewal, and up the frequency. Diablo full Fire Stomp build, Earth Grasp Totem, Spread Volley, Time Trap onto Masquerade, but nothing to follow that up. Mid lane, wave easily cleared away. Bottom lane pushed up by Hazuabs. Boss in the top right, still a minute 25. And the last of the Bruiser minions will clear out in mid by D.Va. Siege Giants for bottom lane, quickly grabbed as well. Possession from Sylvanas just to tank some of the minion wave and slow it down, but D.Va instantly clears that out. All right, well, we're into another phasing with the objective. The first of this one is going to be in the top right. 3 kill difference. Fire Stomp from Diablo. Hanzo throws a scatter back and a steel trap near the objective with a concussion mine just to the left in the bush. Masquerade will have a little bit of delay with a shield glare or two. Maybe a Stormbolt from Hanzo. Yep. Johanna seen in the bush. Danger ping. Concussion Mine gets no displacement. Steel Trap does find its way onto Johanna. Scatters great into the Diva mech, forcing her to boost away. Dahaka still soaking bottom. Sylvanas is pushing things up in mid. DeepDiveXtreme, they got to manage their lanes. Another shield glare coming out. Chain heals into a few members of DeepDiveXtreme. Concussion Mine. Wow, that's a really good shadow charge. Lightning Breath immediately. Yasu tried to save. There will be a mech explosion somewhere. I thought I heard nuclear option activate. Riptire from Junkrat zones the enemies. Dead Inside gets the channel, and now boss will be grabbed as well. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Cure push things up, and Diva will manage that lane. Is this a double boss play is the big question that we need to answer. Time Walker's Pursuit will scout out Masquerade and Hazu on this, as well as see the Dahaka and the Lucio towards the end from the individual vision. But no, they're rotating. I think they're rotating. Let's see, will they be seen in the lane? Diva is seen moving across the map. Junkrat, Diablo, Chromie, they're all scouted. I don't think they get to the point in time. I think Diablo will be like right here. Not even. I think Lucio had a really good slowdown in the rotation. I think he got a couple dismounts, and I think that was key and critical. Diva's going to start working on bottom lane boss. Top lane boss is arriving at the Keep Gate. Our next objective, top left of the map. And if it's picked up by DeepDiveXtreme, they have a curse plus a boss in their favor. Will they go for it, though? Yeah, they will. Okay. Diva's in bottom. It is going to be an offset fight. Slowing Sands from Chromie to zone. One shield glare for a delay. There should be a haunting wave from Hazu if needed. Bottom boss is not as damaged as I anticipated. Top boss is way more damaged. Skizikid gets delayed again. Diva's still managing bottom, and she's seen. Lucio putting pressure onto Chromie. Dragon's Arrow finds its way into Rhaegar. Riptire from Junkrat. Blessed Shield, I think, interrupted. Wailing Arrow coming out as well. The high fives from Lucio. Dead inside the low side of our screen will be taken down by Hazu. Rhaegar taken down just above by Masquerade. Johanna Yoshiro's able to back away with a Concussion Mine, and Diva arrives a little too late. Haunting wave over the wall from Hazu. Wants to chase onto Yoshiro. The Shadow Dagger connects. Will the Forsaken, and they run down Junkrat. Diablo tries to use that Sylvanas as a charge target, but Will the Forsaken was still active. Diva, emergency shield save, but meanwhile in the bottom lane, that boss has arrived and is getting damage onto the core. Shielding, actually. Black Arrow, and they move in through mid, right? Do they take down mid keep, or are they just going to go straight to core? Death timers are good for them just to go straight core, and they will, okay. Looks like Exodia Light, they are going to pull ahead in this best-of-5 series. Bunny Hop from Diva activated once again as a defense. There's going to be a Haunting Wave from Sylvanas. Kira's on core. Bunny Hop from Diva. Mecha Explosion. Nuclear Option zones the enemies, but I believe this map number 3 is done and dusted with a...
Red team dominated.
GG, well played. Exodia Light, one map away from making it into the lower bracket semi-final. Later today, indeed. We've got a lower bracket. We've got 2 lower bracket quarterfinals, and the winner of both of these go into the lower bracket semifinal, and the winner of that goes up against Gafflow's Girthy Gremlins tomorrow morning in the first best of 5, and the second series tomorrow is the grand finals with Rip already waiting with that best of 7 advantage. But we're gonna run the ads and all that good stuff, and we're gonna find out if Exodia Light can make it a 3-1 score, or if we're gonna be seeing a map number 5 via this map 4 win of DeepDiveXtreme. That phrasing was weird, but you know what I mean. It's early. Welcome back, everybody, into our best of 5 series. The first one of the day. On the left-hand side, it's Exodia Light. On the right side, it's DeepDiveXtreme. And in the bottom right of your screen, it's me, Bahamut. Hi. We're going to be seeing the map number 4 choice coming out from Exodia Light as DeepDiveXtreme, again, has opted in for first pick priority. So, there's going to be a Hanzo ban. I'm not too surprised about that one. Let's get that Twitch prediction going for all of you as well. And, okay, so Hanzo to start as a ban. Blaze will be removed as well. It's a Mug Club number. There's the local brewery is called Sedelis, and they had some extra mugs in previous years, and their mugs make perfect like tea mugs. So yeah, this one is there's the 34 one, which I've had for ages, the 85 one. Those were just other people who did not come back to, they either left Tahoe or they didn't come back as like a mug club member or come back for their mugs. So Lindsay, who manages it, she's super nice, and I always ask at the end of the season, like, do you guys have any extra? Because they make as I said, they're really good for tea. They're also really good gifts too. So it's a local artist who makes them. But we have a Vikings ban, a Hanzo ban, Blaze Genji again from Exodia Light, and a first pick Rhaegar. 4 maps in a row, 4 maps with Rhaegar. As what is our opening? Chromie with what for this Dragonshire map? Masquerade does get Muradin. Masquerade has played a different tank in every map thus far, I believe. Garrosh map 1. Then Johanna map 2, was that right? And then what did he play last map? Oh no, he played Johanna last map. What did he play in the map before that? I don't think he played 2 Johanna games.
A great destiny.
I am completely blanking. Oh, someone in chat will remember. We got a Rhaegar Vala variant, so very simple start to the draft. I think they're going to go for single target deletion on the right side. I think DeepDiveXtreme are going to be doing a very simple, like, charge, taunt, Rain of Vengeance. I'd like to see some sort of point-and-click mage like Jaina or Kael'thas. Tyrael, thank you. Yes, it was Garrosh, Tyrael, Johanna, now Muradin. Literally Masquerade playing a different tank in every map. Nicely done. Good memory, chat. Mine is apparently, I need more tea. DeepDiveXtreme is the only team to use a logo. Chen Lucio will be banned. We don't have an early diva. That's the truth for DeepDiveXtreme. I wonder if they'll consider maybe a Rexar. Dragonshire is one of the maps where we do see Rexar a lot. Braxis as well as Volskaya Foundry. Those are very common maps for Rexar Misha. Chromie early on is not bad. They still need to keep... Like, Anduin would be great with this. Muradin Stormbolt into Anduin Chastise. And Kyr's going to pick up a Yrel. Uh-oh. No, I'm just kidding. Kyr had a redeeming level map number 2 on Yrel. That map number 1 was just shaking off the rust. You know, shaking off the ping rust. It is going to be another Diva, though. 4 maps in a row with Diva. Kind of wish they would change up the solo lane a little bit, but it is what it is. Last pick, as I said, I want this to be some sort of easy mage.
Anytime you're ready.
I mean, there isn't really anything to mitigate auto attack damage outside of imposing presence from Muradin and reverberation level 4. I don't believe there's any other auto attack slows. This Maiev is a confidence pick. I don't think they really cared on the side of Exodia Light what DeepDiveXtreme was going to draft for their latter picks. This Maiev was already locked in before that Diva Rainer came through. The Maiev is good aggression. It's got good dive. It helps out with more control. I honestly think that Exodia Light takes this in a 3-1, but let's find out together. I'll blow my nose while I have a chance. BRB. I was too, Umber. I was gonna start talking about that when it was their turn to pick, but they picked that Maiev so quickly. I did, because I thought Cassie would work out because it has some dive. You have Valkyrie, potentially Ball Lightning, the blind obviously into the Vala or the Rainer's nice. But this, as I said, this Maiev, this is a confidence pick. There's a play style that Exodia Light wants to utilize, and we're gonna find out here what it's gonna be. Someone get this man a drink. We have on the left side Exodia Light with Masquerade, Muradin, Kyr, Yrel, Yasuo, Anduin, Hazuab's Chromie, and Blood is your Maiev.
10 seconds.
Sorry, I just never looked at that skin before. Right side of the map is DeepDiveXtreme trying to take us to a map number 5. Let's see if we can get a map number 5 in our first best of 5 of the day. Virgil, Diva again, Darness again on Rhaegar, Skizikid is going to be your Varian, Yashiro is that Valo, and last but not least, you've got dead inside Raynor, who's also going to go into a Gambit level 1. Double Gambit from Vala and Raynor with Veteran Marksman and Creed of the Hunter, as we also will be seeing Pro Moves Diva, Colossal Totem Rhaegar, Varian, probably Lion's Maw level 1. I don't doubt it's High King's Quest. Time Walker's Pursuit, nice. Memento, Dauntless, Even-Handed Blessing, and Murder with Dwarf Block. It is actually overpower for Varian level 1. When parry blocks a hero's basic attack, Heroic Strike cooldowns refreshed, and the next one deals 40% more damage. Yo, what's up, Kalavoth? Good to see you today, bud. Sorry if I missed you earlier. Welcome on in. Happy Sunday, dudes. Alright, so we'll see Bruiser Camp right side, Bruiser Camp left side to be grabbed. Siege Giants have begun as well from DeepDiveXtreme.
You think yourself worthy to wield
And our
the
first
dragon
objective,
knight's power?
announced at the 1 minute mark. Contestable at 1 minute 30, one of the earliest Heroes of the Storm objective phasings. I believe Braxis Holdout has the same time signature as well. Garden Terror actually is 30 seconds earlier than the average. The average being 2 minute 30 announcement, 3 minute contestable. As our Dragonite is going to be, or the Moon and Sunshine is going to be popping up soon. Just watching the minimap. Dragonsire is such a hard map as an observer to make sure you don't miss anything, because there are so many sustained fights in so many lanes. So I'm doing my best to watch as Vala in bottom lane pushes up into Chromie, but she'll be fine. Top lane, this Diva mech might be taken down. Cure gets it. No Umbral Bind to pull back Virgil as Masquerade pressures onto Darness but is unable to sustain the damage needed. Varian still chasing it as a taunt onto Anduin. Big shot from Diva! Raynor with a penetrating round! And first blood gets picked up by DeepDiveXtreme. Their camp in top lane still prevalent. Vol in bottom lane trying to play safe up against Hazuabs. And is actually going to be maneuvering into mid lane for a little bit extra. So Cure taunted, Righteous Hammer, but Varian has the damage needed. And this Fort Gate shall be eviscerated in top lane. Charge, no taunt for 4 seconds. Spirit of Vengeance into teleport. Diva wants to chase in. Unfortunately, she is going to be taken down. Diva boosts in a little too aggressive. Nice penetrating round from Dead Inside right there to be able to push back the enemy. Vala in bottom lane, it looks like she was able just to hold bottom for the time being. Okay. Wasn't sure if she zoned Chromie back or something like that. Uh-oh. Rhaegar! Umbral bound, and it's 2-2 in kills. With Varian still controlling top lane. The Sun and Moon Shrine to the side of DeepDiveXtreme. Unfortunately, no one in mid lane to get a channel. As Anduin heads to bottom lane. Vala still not actually getting too many stacks on the level 1. Hazuab's doing his best to gap and zone the Vala, so she's unable to get those stacks. But meanwhile, Raynor, I mean, he went into Behemoth Armor. He'll have another trigger. Spirit of Vengeance. Umbral Bind pulls the Raynor back. Taunt from Varian into Maiev as the answer. And Time Walker's Pursuit provides vision, and that's all that will be achieved. We're sharing the same brain cell today, Umber, apparently. Taunt, Rhaegar lunge, Diva trying to body block Masquerade. Little boost at the end, but it's not going to be enough to set up a kill. Vala still up against Chromie in the bottom lane. Haza using that steel time trap on the left side. By the way, Sledgehammer level 4, we didn't talk about that, but that is going to be your level 4 pickup for Masquerade. No reverberation into the double auto attack priority heroes. Also, by the way, Kyrgyz is going to be picking up Holy Avenger, hitting an enemy here with Avenging Wrath, maximum charge, deals 25% more damage, and reduces the cooldown by 1 second. Lion's Fang to interrupt. Diva's on the top lane point, and it is also going to be... Cure was up here as well, delaying out, and that's how they were able to get a Dragonite. 27 stacks for Raynor, 14 on that Behemoth Armor, and of course he's going to be going into the Unstable Compound level 7. Vala with 23, Creed of the Hunter stacks. She might try and pick up some off this Dragonite, but I think they're trying to position safely and make sure there's no Dragonite Savage Charge, the kick to displace. And Skizikid gets behind Fort Gate in bottom. Rhaegar lunging in. Good morning, Stark. Welcome back. Hopefully your blueprints was fun. Stormbolt lands into Vala. Good cleanse from Darness to save. And Yashiro's just trying to get a few more stacks in. using Death Dealer from level 4 to maybe get some resets, but I think it didn't hit the right minions, so unfortunately it did not. Stormbolt into Muradin, or from Muradin to this Varian. A taunt will be answered, slowing Sands. And this Varian is trying his best to wiggle his way out, but the Chastise locks him down. And Ando in the Sun finds a kill. Meanwhile, though, Vala did get a stack on her level 1, so she has at least 1% on Creed of the Hunter as you start at 0. Raynor at 33, or level 1, 20 on his Behemoth armor. Yoshiro vaults to the side. The fort defenses will activate, but they do nothing. The goggles, they do nothing. Darnas is going to go on an adventure to the left side. Diva mech is back in bottom. And this Rhaegar sprays and prays. And bonk. Rhaegar goes down, slowing Sands, Containment Disc, Light Bomb, Ardent Defender, Avatar, Ancestral, Raynor's Raiders, Rain of Vengeance, Bunny Hop, and Varian is going to go what at level 10? He is actually not taken as just yet. Still considering if he wants to charge every 4 seconds or if he wants to have Shield Wall. Kalama. Oh, silly. Varian still holding level 10. Maybe forgot.
Do not squander it.
Bottom fort has been taken down. By the way, level 4 pinned down from IF, 1 stack currently. Actually, let's see if there's a better breakdown for this. Okay, so there's just that 35% bonus damage. Yeah, with the 3 enemy heroes with a single cast of Venom Knives or something. Slowing Sands down from Chromie. We'll see Vala working on bottom. Death counter-wise, Vala's died once, Raynor's died 0 times, so full gambit for Raynor. Plus that 36. Raynor's Raider, the Banshee makes quick work of the wave with Varian as they look for a target to taunt, but I don't think there's a good one. If they get to level 20 with Duskwing, Duskwing will be really good, but I don't think it will be Duskwing level 20. It'll probably be Panem Red, I think is the talent name. So you have more triggers on your give him some pepper faster. I mean, typically with this level 1 and level 4, you'd expect it to be that upgrade at level 20. Actually, no, I think, isn't Paint Them Red actually a penetrating round talent? I actually think it is. Eva Mecha Explosion here in mid with the nuclear option, very in charge. Taunt, that Leap of Faith comes through, Avatar comes out afterwards. Blood now trying to back away some Fan of Knives, the Elun's Wrath as well, the Bunny Hop from Diva, and they take down Maiev. The Bunny Hop is still going. Masquerade is about to lose his Avatar. Actually, 8 more seconds remain on that. The Ancestral into Diva Pilot, 48 HP as Kira gets blasted back. A big shot from Diva. Urelch, Avenging Wrath. Diva does not have a mech to be summoned. Rhaegar, does he have a quick chain heal? Nice torpedo dash. Chain heal quickly from Rhaegar to help out indeed. As now the Slowing Sands capture Varian. A taunt gets activated. A Rain of Vengeance from Vala. Meanwhile, the Light Bomb connects into the Rhaegar. He goes down. Vala finds another stackage for Creed of the Hunter. 101 for her. But unfortunately, a double kill does get picked up by Exodia Light. "25 years of Hybrid Theory? Wow, dude. Crazy. That came out when I was like 9 years old, effectively. Almost 10, because, yeah. Wow, that's actually crazy. Indeed, Hazu, yay! You're going to be getting the first Dragonite, second Dragonite of the game. And he'll maneuver that into where? I do want to check that Raynor talent, though. I am curious the name of it. Sergeant Pepper. That makes sense. That's duh. Sometimes talent names are just so obvious, you're like, oh yeah. Like Enhanced Agility Dahaka. Dragonite helps out grab this camp. A Light Bomb cleansed by Rhaegar into the Diva, or Diva cleansed by Rhaegar to avoid the Light Bomb stun. Dragonite is going to be completely cleared away, and it did not find much, if any, value. They got a Siege Giant camp, actually, so there's that. Diva Mech will be lost. Kier comes back with an Avenging Wrath into the enemy. Ardent Defender down for 36 seconds. Leap of Faith pulls Kier to safety with some healing debuff from the Varian level 13. It is Warbringer, by the way. We didn't mention that. Chromie inside the Dragonite gets one Flame Breath into this fort and a little bit of damage. Rhaegar going to try and chase in. Time Warp's Pursuit provides vision of that. Vala goes down to the Yrel on the south side of things. Masquerade has Avatar. Returns the Stormbolt into this Varian. He tries to work his way out of the Slowing Sands. Charge taunt into Chromie, but Hazuab's blasts Varian back to the beach, and that'll be another kill. Diva Mech Explosion. Pilot mode is here as well. Mech Explosion comes through. Diva gets a new mech. Containment Disc onto the Rainer. As Virgil, Diva, Ancestral is going to be good onto Dead Inside. Cure with a Righteous Hammer into the wall. Tower shots onto Cure. Light Bomb is going to be there as well. Penetrating around to push them back. And Muradin is unable to chase onto Diva. Looks like he is going to be hearthing out. Yep, going to go get full mana. Mid lane fort does go down, though. Alrighty. Well then, we'll get into our level 16 in just a moment. Cliff of Faith, there's that imposing presence I was talking about during the draft as well for Muradin. So activate to reduce the attack speed by 50% and movement speed by 20% of nearby heroes and summons for 2.5 seconds. And then specifically, heroes and summons that attack Muradin will have their attack speed slowed by 20% for 2.5 seconds.
My beloved is gone, but his power remains.
All right.
Control the shrine and make
Rainer does go in to line him up with the Paint Them Red, that level 16 that I was talking about by accident. We do have Vala with Manticore, which is a really big talent for her. Banner Dalaran for the Varian, Colossal or Earthgrass Totem for Rhaegar, and then Emergency Shielding on the Diva. Time Walker's Pursuit to get some vision of the enemy. Slowing Sands, Light Bomb. Nice penetrating round onto Masquerade to deny the Dwarf Toss Light Bomb combination for the stun. But still Skizikid trying to back away. Stormbolt lands. Containment Disc will expire. Slowing Sands go down on the ground. Umbrovine pulls the mech back, but the pilot has that torpedo dash to safety. Time Trap finds Rainer, but there's no follow-up into him. Yrel's still, by the way, Yrelling in top lane, as she will take down a fort at this current rate. So the members of DeepDiveXtreme need to find a teamfight advantage, or a win in this teamfight advantage, but they're not getting it. Varian goes down. Rainer falls next. Muradin tries to dwarf toss the side lanes. A Stormbolt into Rhaegar, who gets pulled back by Nerboban. Diva tries to boost in. Vala trying to back away. Hazuabs is hungry for the kill, but can't get it. Diva Mech, does it have Mech Explosion? Indeed it does. The pilot will go down. Mech Explosion gets no counter kill, and it's Vala the lone defender as we have Cure, Yrel getting Dragonite, and that should be a keep. I don't know about game. Death timers are still kind of low. The average is looking like 15 seconds. Actually, Diva at 30, but everyone else is quite low still. I'd expect a keep. I don't know if core. Seraphim, we've got the Unraveling for Chromie. That's going to be Shadow Orb Vengeance. No, Shadow Strike. Varian Legacy for Anduin and Rewind on the Muradin. Dragonite, what is it clocking in at for damage? 693 into structures. With apparently a kill streak of 7. They're going in for core. Stormbolt lands on the Rainer just as the penetrating round will come through. Savage Charge kicks Rhaegar away, and they consider trying to dive onto Rhaegar, but no, they're going to go for the team fight. The Bunny Hop from Diva activating. Dragonite working on core shielding. Rain of Vengeance, Leap of Faith saves Hazuabs, who did use his timeout. Vala vaulting around. Containment Disc from Maiev misses. Masquerade looking to back away. The core shielding was dropped, but no actual damage onto the core. Yrel, Righteous Hammer into Varian, and this is a full disengage from Exodia Light. They do have the talent tier advantage, but they don't have good health bars currently into the enemy squad, and Manticore Vala is something to be respected. Yrel jumps over. Some well taps achieved as you see some mono over time on a few of these blue health bars. Rhaegar goes down. That might be the hammer and the nail starting to hit the coffin. No. Never mind, they're not going to try and end here. Okay. Soak up mid lane. 14 kill difference. Time trap utilized to tank tower shots. Keep is now being assailed. Varian. Not hit by a Storm Bolt, but the Light Bomb. The containment just gone to Vala. Varian should be taken down here. Does get a well tap. Taunt into Maiev. Vala picks up for 200 stacks. Skizakid goes down. Yrel jumps to the left-hand side. The Avenging Wrath. Activation as well.
The Dragon Knight's ancient strength.
Another Dragonite will be coming up in about 20 seconds. Alright, Yrel's gonna hearth out for full everything. Is there an invade onto this camp? It does look like yes. Hazu chilling in bottom.
Control both
Cure
shrines,
Yrel is working his way
and
towards the
Dragon Knight's
Moonshine.
power is yours.
Masquerade should have Channel of Dragonite. Ooh, tag onto the bottom lane camp as well for some extra siege. Tag onto the siege giants on the left-hand side as well. So Masquerade gets Dragonite. He'll get mid lane wave. Anduin either has to give this up or needs some real quick assistance. And I think the Dragonite is not going to be doing that. Maiev is here, though, and Chromie has some artillery over the wall. Well, no level 20 on the right side. 204 stacks for Vala, 74 for the Raynor. Raynor's died twice, Val's died twice. Avenging Wrath into immediate Seraphim. No punish on to Cure because Yrel's a balanced hero. Spirit of Vengeance goes in, slowing Sans without unraveling. Dragonite is on core. And the shielding is immediately being dropped. Chastised, there's going to be a Yrel with the Avenging Wrath over the Keeper or the core or something with that Light Bomb. Either way, Mecha Explosion from D.Va. Raynor does go down on the right-hand side of the screen. Yeah, and that is going to be a early disengage. But DeepDiveXtreme, they're knocked out of the tournament. They will take whatever place they landed in. But GG's. Exodia Light continues on in our later Best of 5 series. We have 3 Best of 5s today. That was the first one. Up next is Rabid Raccoons versus Ross Pierdahl, and the winner of that will go up against the winner from this series. So we have Exodia Light waiting in the lower bracket semifinal coming up next, and Rabid Raccoons versus Ross Pierdahl will be your next Best of 5 coming up. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Thanks for being here. We're going to go ahead and get some ads out of the way. We're going to let the players do their map picks and drafts. We'll pay out the gamble, all that good stuff, and we'll talk about some random stuff in the meantime while we wait for our second series to get going, everybody.